FBI Director Kash Patel has officially launched an investigation into former head of the FBI, James Comey, over the Bureau's alleged surveillance of the 2016 Trump campaign. Now, this was a story that broke over at the Washington Times. This is a conservative publication, but they found that apparently there was some sort of FBI whistleblower who blew the whistle on James Comey, launching a separate investigation, meaning separate from the Russia collusion investigation, having to do with honeypots, two honeypots, who were allegedly attempting to entrap Donald Trump.
Yeah, super skeptical. Red flag, red flag.
I'm not skeptical. I'm open to hearing what the evidence is. I think the bigger issue is politicizing government agencies against political opponents.
No, I think it's a disaster. Look, you're telling me the guy that Trump hates the most, James Comey, right?
Why does he hate James Comey?
Because James Comey started the Russia investigation against him.
True.
So he's never going to let that go.
But he also kind of screwed over Hillary Clinton.
But he doesn't care about that. He doesn't, and he just cares. Good to Trump, not good to Trump. He was not good to Trump. He didn't let me do this, okay? So he hates James Comey. Look, if you're MAGA and you don't like me saying doing Trump's voice, and you think Comey's a bad guy and Trump's a good guy, but can we at least acknowledge Trump hates James Comey? Obviously, right?
He does.
Has a giant vendetta against James Comey. What did Kash Patel? What was he famous for? For having an enemies list that he would target. Of course, he goes to his confirmation hearings, lies through his ass, otherwise known as his mouth. And I won't do an enemies list. I won't go after our political enemies and the people that Donald Trump hates. What's the very first thing he does? Goes after not one of the person that Donald Trump hates the most, and then comes to me with some absurd plot of honeypot agents trying to sleep with Donald Trump? FBI agents were sent to sleep with Donald Trump.
Maybe. Get
out of here. There's no chance that story. I'd be shocked. I'll fall out of this chair if that story's true. First of all, they're not even that competent. Second of all, you're gonna tell an FBI agent to go sleep with a candidate? No, you're not. That doesn't happen in America these days. Guys, you're thinking 1950s, 60s, whatever, like dun dun dun, James Bond crap. This isn't it. They're largely bureaucrats. If you told a female FBI agent to go sleep with someone, you'd get fired and sued.
Okay, let me give you the details as they are currently reported by the Washington Times, and then we'll talk a little bit about whether it's even illegal to use honeypots.
Okay, yeah, we'll talk about it.
All right, so again, this was a story that broke today. It was reported by the Washington Times, and according to the Times, Patel and newly appointed Deputy Director of the FBI, Dan Bongino, are targeting Comey and citing this whistleblower and their allegations. New leadership at the FBI is starting this investigation into the origins of the agency's plan a decade ago to infiltrate the Trump campaign of then candidate Donald Trump, using two female undercover honeypot agents. The off the books investigation launched in 2015 by James Comey was revealed by an agency whistleblower in a protected disclosure to the House Judiciary Committee last year, and it was first reported by the Washington Times in October of last year. In the intelligence community, a honeypot commonly refers to an undercover operative, usually a woman who shows up with a giant pot of honey to entice the target of the FBI's investigation. I'm kidding, obviously you guys know what a honeypot is. Now, according to the Times, Patel and Bongino have kicked off their probe by seeking to find Comey's two alleged honeypots.
Yeah, good luck. They'll be on the same chase as OJ was to find the real killer.
Okay, so Washington Times' Carrie Pickett, who broke the news story, wrote that the Times has learned that the Bureau, now led by Kash Patel and Bongino, is looking for those once undercover employees who were previously under Comey's direction. New leadership at the FBI is starting an investigation into the origins of the agency's plan a decade ago. I already read that part. Okay, so you guys get the point. I mean, that's all we know so far.
No chance it's true.
Okay, I don't know if it's true or not. I don't even care if it's true or not. What I care about is politicizing government agencies to essentially serve as like personal hitmen to go after your political opponents.
You know what this tells me? This story tells me that James Comey is spick and span. And I'll tell you why. Because when you target someone, what they do is they dig. By the way, both sides do it. Democrats love to character assassinate people. Just look, I can give you a laundry list, but Republicans do it to their own. Matt Gaetz, Cawthorn, etc. They do it to Eliot Spitzer. We've been through this a million times about how they target people. So when they targeted Comey, which obviously they did, they must have gone through all of his stuff. Oh man, we can't find any sex on him because that's the #1 thing they look for. Damn it, we can't find anything illegal on him. Oh, I got an idea. Why don't we invent this fantastical story about undercover agents that were so undercover, we'll never be able to find them. But they were gonna go and seduce Donald Trump and say, oh, Russia to him, or whatever nonsense that they're making up here. So there's no chance this is true. And it means James Comey apparently didn't do anything illegal his whole life. So congratulations, Comey, that they had to invent this crap to go after him. So, and by the way, if they arrest James Comey, that's it, it's begun. Then, okay, and by the way, if nobody says anything, because the Democrats also hate James Comey, because he did screw over Hillary Clinton right before the election, well, then you're gonna open the door. Then you open the door, they're gonna say, oh yeah, I found out that, the next person, Liz Cheney or whoever, she was involved in something else where she found a literal honeypot and took it from someone's backyard. Aha! Okay, so now we're just arresting political opponents.
Okay,
so that's the era we're in.
No one's been arrested. And look, if Comey is indeed spick and span, then I mean, look, again, let me reiterate, the biggest problem here is weaponizing federal government agencies to carry out these like hit jobs on political opponents. I have a huge problem with that. And if Republicans think it's totally fine right now because it's happening on behalf of a Republican president, well, Democrats are eventually gonna be in power, and are you gonna be happy with them doing politically motivated investigations, using federal government agencies in this weaponized way? That's wrong, I don't agree with that.
So I've taken tons of crap for saying no MAGA, huge portions of them are actually anti-war, are populist in different ways that I've explained. In this case, I'm being honest with you just as much. They're off the charts. They think, oh, for sure, Comey did it. I don't need any stinking evidence. Comey targeted Trump, it's over, we hate him. I'm so glad, I hope they arrest him and put him in Gitmo. And I don't need any goddamn evidence, I already know it. And then when you say to them, hey, this is a terrible idea, politicizing the Justice Department, it's unconstitutional, etc. They go, oh, the Democrats did it already, we're striking back. If somebody did something deeply illegal and unconstitutional and I was in power, I would not do likewise. I would go, oh yeah, I'm just as illegal and unconstitutional as you guys. No, it's not cute, that's not clever, it doesn't help. Okay, all you're saying is, and by the way, okay, look, we can get back into whether Biden really did it for Trump or not, and we can argue over the different cases. I'm sure Biden made Trump take all those top secret documents and stuff in a Mar-a-Lago bathroom. I'm sure Biden did that. Okay, we can get back into that. But even if you believe Biden did it and it was terrible to Trump, you think strike back is a thing that's okay when you're using the United States government? You think this is a game? Is this personal? No, you don't get to break the law like that. And you don't get to say, well, they did it too. No, that just means, okay, you're at a minimum just as bad as the people that you thought were the worst of the worst.
And it kind of flies in the face of wanting to do something about the very real problem in our federal government of waste, fraud, and abuse when you're literally cheering on a federal agency using taxpayer money on fishing expeditions against their political opponents. So look, if Comey's spick and span, he's got nothing to worry about because honestly, Cenk, what Trump supporters believe and want doesn't matter, okay? The courts don't care about that. The courts are gonna need to see evidence of wrongdoing by James Comey. And if that doesn't exist, then he's got nothing to worry about. But again, that problem of weaponizing a federal government agency.
No, everyone has something to worry about. I don't know anyone who hasn't jaywalked, who hasn't done or they can't ruin their lives by making them spend millions and millions of dollars and drag them through the court system and get 50, 30%, 40% of the country that they were some sort of James Bond villain, etc. So how many people are they going to do this to? And the next guy, are they going to be as clean, or are they going to find something on him? Oh, he was with a prostitute. That's it. Arrest him, put him in a gulag, whatever the hell. I don't know what you guys are doing, but imprison your political opponents. If you thought you were against that when you thought it happened to Trump, just doing it to the other side means that you signed up for illegality, authoritarianism. This is exactly what people were worried about. Exactly why I voted against Trump, because I knew he couldn't let it go, and I knew he didn't give a crap about the laws of this country or the Constitution. That's why he said terminate the Constitution when he lost. He doesn't care about our system of government. He doesn't care about the Constitution. The very first thing he does with his Department of Justice is go after my enemies. Yeah, well, that's what a tyrant does. Congratulations. Every time you ring the bell below, an angel gets his wings. Totally not true, but it does keep you updated on our live shows.